Hello everyone, this is Bentley from Kent, Washington, and today we're going to do a little extra video of feeding the big guppy tank. So these are the blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies, and as you can see if you pay attention to the front of the acrylic here, you can see several Sera O-nip tabs in the tank. This is a great food. If you've never tried the O-nip tabs before, do so, especially if you have a small fish. If you have larger fish, I totally understand why you might not be trying it. But in the case of like if you've got tetras, if you have rainbow fish, you've guppies, platies, any of your smaller community fish, this is an absolutely amazing food for a couple of reasons. So in a big tank like this, where there's 300-400 guppies, you can create this insane frenzy down between all these O-nip tabs. And with a little bit of flow, like little particulates are kind of slowly knocking off of these things. You can see it if you look real close, and the babies are getting those little particulates, and the young juveniles, where the adults are kind of rushing the tabs themselves to get their food. As they bite and get their little chunks of food off, it's throwing particulates into the water column. So even your filter feeders, if you had something like a bamboo shrimp, could get some food off of these. Now, in smaller tanks or with smaller numbers of fish, say you have like 20 neon tetras in a 20-gallon or something like that, this is also an amazing food because this tablet, especially if there's not a lot of flow, if you're not doing like really high flows, it'll just slowly sit there and have a continual food source throughout the day for your fish to kind of nibble on and graze on. Instead of one big feeding, they'll have something they can keep picking at throughout the day. That's one of the major reasons I actually like this food in small tanks. Now, in the case of these big tanks, of course, it's because this allows me to force all of the fish in those tanks into one area. So if you're trying to film some stuff in your tanks and maybe you've got fish that really stay top water or like to hide down low, put a Sera O-nip tab on the glass. That's the best part about this stuff. You can literally just press it to the glass. It's going to stick and stay there. And then, step back a little bit, wait, watch your fish go down and figure out that it's there and start eating at it and having all their fun. Then you've got a perfect opportunity to shoot them, just like I'm doing with these guppies. And just you can see like some of the small particles coming down to little babies down here. Just I kind of zoomed in so you can see some of that. But you can see all these guppies. They're right in optimal light. They're not sitting at the top water, which is where they like to sit normally during feedings because they're used to stuff and they're picking at the top, which is what they do in the wild. It's just kind of what guppies are accustomed to. You can see these guys here are just sitting at the top, kind of waiting, or maybe they've already had their fill and they're trying to get out of the chaos. But usually they're waiting for food at the very top water. So this can force them into an area that makes it easier to film. In my case, you can see them right in a good bright light with the plant background. Makes it a lot easier to see that beautiful blue color in these guppies. The same can be done with, for example, like my Kochu tetras. They absolutely love this food. They go nuts for it. If you have like neons, cardinals, rummy nose, lemon tetras, silver tip tetras, and any of those small tetras, this is an absolutely wonderful food. And I think, honestly, I would say it's among some of the better foods that are out there. I would say like the Sera products, especially the O-nip tabs, things like New Life Spectrum food, and then, Fluval Bug Bites is kind of the newest kid on the block of one of the higher quality foods that's out there. I would say those are kind of my three go-tos. There's a lot of people who, they're going to have some opinions. Maybe they're going to say they prefer Northfin or something like that. That's just what I'm accustomed to. What I have the most faith in. Hikari is also makes a nice food, but it can be a little expensive. These O-nip tabs are absolutely fantastic because you can get a thing of O-nip tabs and it can last you a long time, especially if you're mixing your foods up. One thing that I like to do, I will only feed O-nip tabs once to twice a week, and then I'll alternate in frozen foods, flakes, Fluval Bug Bites. So there's a good balanced diet of different types of proteins and foods for all of my fish, so that they're not just used to the same thing. And because they eat so many different things, they'll kind of accept almost anything I give them. So that's just kind of a couple little tips and also a nice little guppy fix for the weekend. Just enjoy this like absolutely like massive guppies going nuts for some Sera O-nip tabs. And if you haven't tried these, by all means, I highly suggest this food. It's absolutely amazing. The next thing I would say that's closest to this, that I would say actually is the highest quality possible food you can get, as far as I'm concerned, is Repashy. And Repashy is kind of similar in that you'll get these nice gel cubes that'll sit in a spot and kind of forces all your fish into one area eating at it. And it's something I can slowly pick at throughout the day, just like these O-nip tabs. So if you want something that's like a good slow feed for a lot of your fish, that's a great combination. O-nip tabs and Repashy, perfect. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep being awesome.